It's on the 1-yard line. 3rd down and goal to go. Penalty flags are down. The Giants have put it in the end zone. Let's wait for the officials and the penalty.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. And welcome to the Gridiron. The Giants finally, all the draft choices are finally signed. The big kahuna, the big one, number 1, the first round of Kadarius Toney, finally signed. Yes. I believe his signing bonus was a little over $7 million, but his deal's worth, it's, fully guaranteed. It's 4 years, $13.7 million. And obviously, because he's the first round pick, we have a additional, we can pick up his 5th-year option. So that's the beauty of signing your first-round picks. That's having the option for the 5th year. It's very, very important. But just to get him signed is absolutely huge. Now, what I like about the way it's the draft, the rookie, the wage scale is right now, is that every spot, has a designated number associated with it. Okay, there's no, holding out for more money or this or that, or it's just, when you're picked number 1, you're going to make so much money. Pick 20 is just a little under $2.5 million a year. Pick 100 is $870,000 a year. It is what it is. I mean, there's no wiggle room. That's what it is. And I'm really, really happy that they had decided to do that. In the early 2000s, it was getting a little out of hand. I mean, sometimes guys were making money, and they were worth it, but you didn't know. And sometimes there were guys that made money and they weren't worth it, and they held out. They weren't worth it, and it almost got to be like a circus. And if you're going to get paid, God bless you. Go, okay. But, can we complete a pass in the NFL first? I mean, you got guys been around the league for 5 years, 10 years, whatever, spilled their guts, broke bones, this, that, and the other thing, to support their family, and you haven't even completed a pass in the NFL yet. You're going to make 2, 3, 4 times the money some of these guys are making. I always had a hard time with that. Like some of the contracts. I mean, this is like over 10 years ago. I mean, Sam Bradford, when he got drafted in 2010, he was the number 1 pick. He signed a $76 million deal right out of college. Didn't complete a pass. Didn't throw a pass. $76 million. $50 million guaranteed. Wasn't worth it. It was nice quarterback. He got hurt a lot. Some guys get hurt. Some guys. I mean, he wasn't any bigger or any smaller than Eli Manning. They were both kind of frail looking. Eli didn't get hurt. Sam Bradford did. It is what it is. Was he worth $76 million? Absolutely not. Then you got Matthew Stafford. Okay, 2009. All right, he signed a 6-year deal worth $72 million, $41.7 million guaranteed. Now, with him, I could see where you could say he was worth it. But once again, coming out, making more money than most of the quarterbacks in the league, and you haven't even thrown a ball yet. But for him, I could say he was worth it. Then you got Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan was in 2008. He signed a 6-year, $70 million. Almost $12 million a year back in 2008. Was he worth it? Yeah, I would certainly say he was worth it. But once again, you don't know. I mean, some of these guys come out. I mean, which brings me to my next guy. I mean, because you get good numbers in college doesn't guarantee nothing in the pros, does that? Which brings me to my next guy, Jamarcus Russell, 2007. He was the first pick. He held out, and pretty much he held out, and he wound up getting some more money because he held out. All right, and he wound up signing A 6-year, $61 million guarantee with $32 million guaranteed. And after 3 seasons, he was cut. Never to play in the NFL ever again. He held out from I want more money. That's not enough. I want more money. And they guaranteed him 32. So after 3 years, they cut him, and basically they had to give him $32 million. And he was horrible. I think he had 18 touchdown passes in 3 years, through 23 interceptions in 3 years. And you're holding out. I mean, can we complete a pass first before? I mean, it was not worth it. He was in 2007, and he got over 61. He got $61 million. 2014 years ago. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, so I'm so happy that they changed. Got the rookie wage scale in there in 2011. And my final point on this one is, guys that might be worth the money. But I always have a hard time when they just come in, haven't played it down yet, and they're making more money, average, than almost everybody else. Okay, point in hand. And Ndamukong Suh, man, was a beast in college, no doubt about it. Man was good. Good in the pros, very, very, very good in the pros. You can certainly say possibly Hall of Famer. Possibly. I'm not going to say yes or no, but if he goes in Hall of Fame, I'm not going to argue. Okay, but he was the second pick, right, in the 2010 NFL draft. Okay, he was behind Sam Bradford. A lot of people thought he was going to go number 1, but Sam Bradford wound up going number 1, and he wound up going number 2. Well, he signed a 5-year. He was number 2 pick. Defensive tackle, 5 years, $68 million. $40 million guaranteed. So his average yearly salary, 5 years, $68 million, was $13,600,000. And he just came into the NFL. $13.6 million. Do you realize, that salary for a defensive player? There was only 7 other defensive players in the whole league that were making more yearly than what he was making. There was 2 cornerbacks that were making more money than $13.6 a year. There were 3 edge rushers that were making more than $13.6 a year, and there was 2 defensive tackles. One was Albert Hainsworth. I don't even want to go there. The Washington. I think his salary that year, was like $27.5 million. I mean, you wonder why Washington is just unbelievably pathetic. But Ndamukong Suh didn't take 1 snap in the NFL. You have no, there's no guarantees, what he's going to do, And he was making more than everybody except for 7 guys in the NFL at the time. He was making more than, Willie McGinnis, DeMarcus Ware. He was making more money than him. These guys are Hall of Famers, and this guy didn't taken a snap yet. And he's making $13.6. It's crazy. I remember the year before that, Michael Crabtree in 2009. He held out. He wanted more money. He held out for like over 6 weeks. He even threatened to re-enter the draft in 2010 because he wasn't getting his money. Dude, can you catch a pass first? You a nice receiver. Somebody that should be like holding out for no. Catch a pass first. Let's see what you can do. It really became like almost kind of like a circus. So I'm so happy now they got the rookie wage scale. This is, you get picked here, this is what you make. And I'm so happy that the Giants finally got Kadarius Toney signed. Now the thing is that, where are you going to put him? You could, man. Last year in 2020, he was, they had him all over the place. They had him in the backfield 23 times. He was in the slot 506 times. He was out wide 80 times. They said he was in line, the line of scrimmage 5 times. It was on a kick return 58 times. He was on the punt return 55 times. it's all over the place. 2019, he was in the backfield 4 times. He was in line once. He was in the slot 75 times. He was out wide 12 times. He was kick returner 6 times. He was punt returner twice. He was even a quarterback 1 time. He got hurt in the first game of the season. He had a shot to his left arm, I believe it was, and it wound up, I think, injuring his shoulder. And it was like late in the first quarter of the first game, and he wound up missing 6 games, so he missed a lot of time in 2019. So that's why his numbers aren't that great. Obviously, the amount of snaps he got is not as much as they were in the other years. 2018, okay, we go back up to, he got a lot of snaps. He was a quarterback 14 times in 2018. He was in the backfield 6 times. He was in line once. He was in the slot 115 times. He was out wide 135 times. He was on kick returning 51 times. He punt returned twice. So, I mean, you can do anything with this guy. Quarterback, running back. I mean, you can put him anywhere. Now, the thing is, what I like is that with Joe Judge, is he's got a big coaching staff. Now, what I like, he's got a lot of guys helping Jason Garrett, because Jason Garrett doesn't come up with some imaginative ways to get Kadarius Toney the ball. He's in trouble. So I think with Joe Judge bringing a lot of guys in, with different ideas and all, getting guys the ball, like Evan Ingram, getting him the ball where he can actually catch the ball instead of having the ball go through his hands and all. But I mean, getting Kadarius Toney the ball, getting the most out of him, is going to be very, very important this year. And one of the things that he needs to watch out for. Now, he got injured in 2019, but it was a shoulder. It wasn't like a knee or Achilles or anything like that, thankfully. But one of the things that he's got to be careful of, and I heard somebody mention that from time to time he thinks he's like a fullback or something. And in the NFL, you gotta know when to hold him, know when to fold him. You know when you gotta walk away, and when to get the heck out of bounds. When you see some of his highlights. I mean, the guy just doesn't give up. He got a guy hanging on him, and he's still trying to wiggle free. A lot of times he gets free and gets extra yards or this, that, the other thing. In the NFL, it might be a little different. I mean, he's got to remember, sometimes, when to get down so he can fight for another down for another day. So he's got to be careful of that. I mean, look at Saquon. Saquon gives it his all on every play. There ain't no doubt about it. But look what happens to him. He gets injured, and so hopefully Kadarius Toney can stay safe and give us a full year worth of exciting videos to watch of him. Well, as always, people, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there, and go Giants! Woo!